The name's Lock. Collection Lock. And we're trying to collect everything in World of Warcraft on a brand new account. Let's go! So, to kick things off, I had one day of the Midsummer Fire Festival left, so I made the most of it by running a dungeon and completing a bunch of quests. I didn't complete all of the Honor the Flames achievements, but I did manage to get my first ever toy out of it, plus a little bit of transmog. So all things considered, I think I did pretty well here. I also wrapped up the Human Heritage Armor quest, which I actually started in June. I don't think I ever got a max level human, so I never actually did this on my original account. In July, Blizzard also launched the Greedy Emissary event. I'd seen it on PTR, but hadn't had a chance to really explore it until it went live. Turns out, it was originally launched in 2023 to celebrate the launch of Diablo 4, and whilst I was playing Diablo back then, turns out I'd completely missed that event. Not that it matters now that I'm on a brand new account. Basically, every hour on the hour, a portal spawns in Stormwind, Orgrimmar, and Donegal. After 5 minutes, either 1, 2, or 3 treasure goblins will spawn, depending on how many items have been thrown into the portal. Killing these goblins gives you a Hellcaller chest, which gives you Hellstone shards, and on top of this, you can earn transmogs, pets, mounts, or toys. The Hellstone shards can be used to redeem further transmog rewards from a vendor, but unfortunately, I wasn't able to do this because the vendor is only available in Donegal. I don't have the War Within on this account because I figured by the time I get to it, midnight, and maybe even the last Titan will probably have been released. And there's no point buying an expansion if Blizzard are just going to give it to me for free when the next expansion hits. It's a shame. I really don't understand why they wouldn't put a vendor in Stormwind and Orgrimmar, especially since you can get the shards from there. I did make sure to get the mount and pet, but it really sucked that I couldn't enjoy the transmogs properly. Anyways, I also wanted to take advantage of the Collector's Bounty event, even though it's not strictly classic. For those that don't know, but let's be real, you all know what this is. The Collector's Bounty event offers increased drop rates across a range of legacy content. Most mounts have a 5% bonus chance to drop, and honestly, with how many attempts I've had at Ashes of Valar on my original account, I really did not want to miss this opportunity. And I'm glad I made this decision because it really worked out for me. I earned quite a few mounts on my first ever attempt of the raid. I had a feeling some of these would drop pretty easily. I mean, Kel'Thuz loves to show off his swift white hawk strider. And I already had the Azure Drake on my original account, despite me not running Eye of Eternity very much. One mount I didn't expect to get is the ever-elusive Ashes of Valar, which has evaded my grasp ever since I started playing in the Burning Crusade. But I got it on my first run of Tempest Keep, no less. I have been running that raid almost religiously for several years on my original account, so it felt pretty damn good to get it on my first attempt. I also snuck into the Vault of Archivon. For context, I had forgotten that this instance is realm locked, meaning because I was on Anchorage, I couldn't go in with my brother who plays on Argent Dawn. He'd invited me to a group because Vault was Alliance controlled on his realm. We realised our mistake once we'd gotten inside, so I left the group so that he could run. Even though the Vault was Horde controlled on my realm, I was still able to sneak inside and run the raid. I didn't get the mount, but I did get a few new transmogs, and Eye of Eternity more than made up for it, dropping both the Blue Drake and the Azure Drake at the same time. I genuinely did not know this was possible, and I just assumed I'd get one or the other. So whilst my brother was pretty annoyed by my success, I was absolutely thrilled. I didn't get the one thing I was really hoping for, the Eye of Sulfuras, but I'm not too mad about it because I did at least get the right bindings for Thunder Fury, Blessed Blade of the Windseeker, and according to ATT, Molten Core is 32% complete. It was around this point that we realised flying from instance to instance is really slow, so I let Twitch chat vote on whether or not I should skip ahead to Dragonflight to pick up Skyriding. Thankfully, you guys were super kind to me and you voted yes to faster flight. We headed to the Dragon Isles, and I realised I couldn't just pick up Skyriding and leave. I had to do some quests first, or so I thought. As it turns out, when I hit level 70, I was automatically rewarded with Skyriding, so I may have killed off Sendrax for nothing, but hey, at least we can fly a bit faster now. Some sacrifices are just worth it. I also got the rarest drop in Icecrown Citadel. Precious as ribbon. No, seriously, I genuinely think this is harder to get than Invincible. Like, I know multiple people who have Invincible and still don't have this ridiculous ribbon. I also just love pink transmogs, so big win for me. The last mount of my collector's bounty journey was the red Karaji resonating crystal, which will save me from a potentially painful grind later on. After the collector's bounty event finished, I wanted to make sure I completed the traveler's log, which turned out to be a bit of a pain. With only 2 days left of the month, there were very few things to do. Dark Moon Fair had passed, I'd missed a lot of time walking, and a lot of the other stuff requires the War Within to complete it. I figured out that if I did time walking dungeons and some quests on a new character, I could get most of the way there. So I completed some time walking dungeons onto leader. With my time walk badges, I was able to get a new toy and some transmogs, and then I switched to a new character, Mudra. Mudra is a Tauren rogue, and don't worry, I haven't forgotten about Mazoga, but I did want to prioritise Mudra because my warband bank is nearly full, and I don't have the gold to unlock a new tab yet. Some of these slots are being taken up by lockboxes, which can only be unlocked by a rogue. If I can get Mudra leveled up enough, I can clear out a few extra spaces. So naturally, Mudra went straight to Exile's Reach. As mentioned in previous episodes, there's still a lot to unlock there, but most of it can be done passively by leveling alts and completing class-specific and faction-specific content. Look, I bought the Horde tabard! Completing Exile's Reach on an Alliance character and a Horde character has put my ATT score for this specific zone at 77.45%. With less than a quarter left to go and a lot of classes left to cover, I'm not too worried about farming zone drops, so obviously I sent Mudra straight to Orgrimmar. I decided to use Mudra to queue up for some time walking dungeons because I wanted to finish the Traveler's Log for this month, and because I don't have the War Within on this account, I had a very limited amount of options available. Because I'd already sent to leader through some classic time walking dungeons, I was only 5 dungeon bosses away from another 100 tendies, and as mentioned before, leveling up Mudra allows me to open lockboxes for more loot opportunities. Obviously, I wanted to maximise my time as much as possible, so I sent Mudra to the Tauren starting zone to get some quests underway whilst waiting for the queue to pop. I didn't get much done here, but progress is progress. During my dungeon, I got a new toy, the Piccolo of the Flaming Fire. If you've ever been in Goldshire on Argent Dawn, you know how annoying this toy can be, but I weirdly like it. And that pretty much wraps up the Collector's Bounty event. Unfortunately, I didn't get the Eye of Sulfuras, so I guess I'll just have to keep running Molten Claw and hope for the best. On the bright side, I did get one more mount after the event. Lord Aureus Rivendare was very generous, offering me his Death Charger after only 8 attempts. I then switched back to Toledo to have a go at the Lore Walking quest, as I figured these would give me the last few tenders I needed, but I ran into a problem. See, Xalatath and the Ethereals went fine, but it turns out you need the War Within to complete Arthas's Lore Walking story. I'm beginning to think I should just bite the bullet and buy the expansion, but with Midnight fast approaching, I really don't want to be dropping that much money on something I'm barely going to use. What do you think? Is it worth buying the War Within, or should I just wait it out? Anyways, once I realised I couldn't use Lore Walking to get my last few tendies, I had a look at alternative solutions and realised it was pet battles or PvP. I hate PvP, and I'd already collected a few pets from dungeon drops, so I moved on to trying to win 15 pet battles. It turned out to be a lot easier than I thought. See, I thought I would have to go up against other players, but actually, every pet battle trainer and wild battle pet counted. Even those that I captured counted as a win. So it didn't take long to rack up 15 wins, and I got achievements for consecutive wins too. With my Traveler's Log complete, I ran to the training post and made sure to spend every last tender. This time, I specifically bought some transmog. Honestly, Toledo deserves it. The girl's been through a lot, and always in the most mismatched outfit too. I also bought last month's Goblin Wave Shredder. I swear this comes back every summer, but adding a mount to my collection is always a bonus. And then I froze a different mount for next month. Honestly, July was a massively successful month. I ended the month at nearly 2% completed, which for a brand new account, I think that's pretty impressive. And by the way, you should totally join the Collection Lot Guild. I know you're probably already in Expansion Lot or Zone Lot, but that's what alts are for, right? But if you don't want to do that, you can also catch me on twitch.tv/ArchmageStar. I'm currently doing my collection lot runs on Saturdays at 4 PM EU server time, and you're all invited. But until then, happy collecting!